I don't want to be strong like man who look pretty. I want to be strong like bitch that fight bears in the forest.
Welcome to episode 17 of Bitch vs. Bear with your hosts, me, Amber, my bestie, Sydney. We are co-owners of Shield Maiden Training Co. And this is a show where we bitch, laugh, and chat about all the things fitness related to women and the LGBTQIA+ community.
Yes, I did add that in.
You added all the initials.
I added all the initials because I felt like it was time.
There's so many.
And then I gave that to you to say.
It was great. It was a good opening. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it. This week, that was a big hand motion for not being on video. This week, we have a wonderful guest and good friend, Becca Czuba, who also happens to be my sister-in-law.
Woohoo! Woohoo!
Today, we're going to be chatting about all kinds of things, but with a central focus on learning to love oneself, or yourself, I guess. Becca, welcome!
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So this is like the weird icebreaker part where you have to tell us all the things about yourself that you would do at the intro to college class.
Well, I guess I can start. I'm a nurse. I've been a nurse for I think 5 or 6 years now. Athletic wise, I've kind of been in and out of shape my whole life. Grew up playing a bunch of sports, high school sports, super competitive. Kind of fell in and out of shape post college. But yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Yay!
Woo!
Awesome. So, did you ever play softball with Shelby?
No, we were never. I don't believe we were ever on the same team, but we always just missed the cutoff. Because we should have been on the same high school team, but she split high schools, and so I was gone, and then she went to Trinity and played. So we just missed each other.
I always wanted to ask because I've never actually seen her play softball, and I assume she was good, but I want to get a different perspective.
She was really good, but I will tell you, there was this really weird time, right when she got to Trinity, where we looked like twins, and I would see photos of her playing and be like, I never played there, and my mom would be like, that's because that's not you,
Which is so funny because you are actually a twin.
Yes.
But not Shelby's.
And people would see Shelby in the hallway and they'd be like, Becca. And she's like, I'm not Becca. And so but she was very good.
Well, that's good to know because I was always curious because I know how klutzy she can be. And I feel like softball takes a lot of coordination.
Yeah.
I'm always curious how she's so athletic. And she smashed 2 bowls last week.
Did she?
I feel like we talk a lot about how klutzy your wife is. And you should
but it's kind of
keep an eye on that.
It's
wanted to get an insider's perspective on this.
It's you need to be more gentle. Because not with her, but she needs to be more gentle through life. But at work, they're always telling me, there's this one doctor that's always gentle, Becca, gentle. And it's we're not. We're strong and oafy. We just kind of fuck shit up along the way.
Yeah, I love it.
It's just, we can't help it.
I think you two should be the twins. I've seen pictures of you both, and I'm like, oh, yeah, absolutely.
I shattered a glass just emptying the dishwasher. It happens. Mike was are y'all okay? I just put it down. I don't know what to tell you.
That's why most of my dishes are Corelle or plastic.
Yeah, I don't know. We just don't know our own strength, I guess.
You all are very strong, independent women. I will definitely attest to that.
That is very true. Yes.
Cool.
Awesome. Okay, so I don't think I've actually seen you since your big event this fall.
That was fun.
Where you got married.
Yay!
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So you are now a few months into this whole adventure. So often we see or hear about folks who are getting married going to extremes to look a certain way for their big day. So, how was that for you? Did you change your fitness or nutrition approach, or were you just living your life?
I was living my life, and I always had the intention of my strict diet plan. I was going to start running again, and I was going to be so tiny, and it just never happened.
And I
It
mean, you
just-
looked gorgeous in the
I
pictures.
don't like, and I'm very happy with how it turned out. But I had like this whole plan, and I don't know if it was just the timing of everything else going on with like my mom getting sick, like my grandparents. And I think I just went into like, I was like, I am just living. Like, I can't change anything right now. But it ended up working out, and like, I'm like mostly happy with the photos. And, you know, there's always that voice in the back of your head, like, you could have been skinny for this. But it's like,
Yes.
but I would have been unhappy. And I also did get food poisoning 3 days before. So I did lose like just enough to be like I put the wedding dress on and was like, ooh, this is loose.
Yeah,
But that wasn't on purpose. I was extremely ill. I almost didn't make it on the plane.
Oh no.
Full disclosure, I brought a change of clothes on the plane because I was like, I might throw up. Like, I might not make this. And I didn't eat until the rehearsal dinner, so I was feeling skinny. But I didn't change anything, and neither did Mike.
No, I love that because just like from my own perspective, like we did this whole thing, and then I felt a little jealous because Shelby dropped a ton of weight right before our wedding, where I only dropped like 15 pounds, and then all of mine came off like
Right
we got married
after.
in October, and all of mine came off in November, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like,
That's
so
wild.
angry about it.
Shelby was that bride you like to hate because she had to have her dress resized like 6 times because she was
I remember
losing too
that,
much
and they kept
weight.
telling her like to stop losing weight, and I was like, oh my god, what a problem to have.
I'd like go to her fittings with her, and I was like, this bitch.
Yeah,
She keeps
it's
losing
like,
weight.
yeah, but no, I didn't really change anything, and it is what it is.
I mean, I've seen your photos. I've showed
Yeah.
them to Amber because
They look great.
Yeah, thank
and
you.
And I think that's the thing, right? Like, is everybody wants to look good in their photos.
Yeah,
And your photos were stunning.
I think they're
Yeah.
stunning because number one, the location.
Well, I mean, yes.
And
that
it's
helps.
like you put anything out there with those mountains, I feel like it's going to be beautiful. But I think what I picked up most on the photos is like you can tell how like happy
yes.
and like in love Mike and I are.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know, you just like don't really pay attention to like our bodies. It's more about like, oh my God, like they love each other, like the way we're looking at each other and stuff like that. And even like the pictures with the family, we all just look so happy that I'm like, I don't even know. I'm not paying attention to like my arms or whatever.
Yeah, like it's truly like authentic.
Which is weird because I've always been like so obsessive about like how I look and stuff. So it was really weird to be like, I mean, almost probably like 200 pounds on your wedding day. It's like, that's not how I thought that was going to go, but
you looked
it
gorgeous.
is what it is.
And like,
Yeah.
well, you know.
You're
and,
happy and in love, and
yeah.
that's
I got married
really what
in
matters.
an incredible location.
Yeah.
Right?
Shout out.
So beautiful.
Because that was my vacation for the
Oh, yeah.
year. Like, I just kept being like, thank you all for planning this.
Yeah.
It was so great.
No, we even ran into each other in Bozeman that one
Oh,
day.
yeah. about that.
Yeah.
Day
that was
drank.
great. That was so much fun.
That was so much fun.
Okay, so how have the first few months of marriage been? Have you noticed any like shifts from when you were just dating or fiancés? A fiance?
I think like it sounds so stupid to say, but like the wedding was such a like bonding experience for me with him. Like I felt so much closer to him and so much like it just felt like I loved him even more. He thinks like the opposite. He's like, no, like I've always loved you. Like I've always felt this way. Like he's like, he just says that he's like felt this way the whole time. And for me, I don't know if it was just like hearing him take his vows and being like, gotcha, bitch, like gotcha forever. Where I'm like, okay, this is like the real deal. He's not going anywhere. But
Lockdown.
I feel like it was fun and like spending the honeymoon together. We've never really gotten to travel because we were long distance dating. And we went on our first trip February 2020, right before the world shut down. And so then we were doing long distance, and then the Navy, like he wasn't allowed to go out or anything. And so that was really like our first like trip together. And so that was just fun, like solid quality time.
That's
So
awesome.
that was good.
You just said quality time, which makes me, I want to know, what's your love language?
Okay, so I feel like in general it's quality time, but I tend to get kind of needy with Mike, and I'm like, give me a compliment. give me a present, like buy me something. So, like sometimes I think overall it's quality time, but sometimes I'm like, hey, you could probably like compliment me.
You could probably give me something
Yeah.
shiny if
Yeah.
you wanted.
Yeah. Acts of service like really doesn't do it for me. I don't know why.
Huh, that's interesting.
Yeah. It's like I appreciate it, but like if I had to pick anything, it's quality time. Like phones down, just us hanging out. And I think I ask him all the time and he like never tells me, but I think his is like physical touch. But he never picks anything, you know.
I could
him.
see that.
Yeah.
Because like, yeah.
If you ask him his opinion, it's like, he never has like an exact answer.
Yeah. About himself.
Or about like a choice. Yeah. Like he's like, all of them, none of them, I don't know.
Don't try and give him a gift.
Oh no.
Yeah.
He's got a weird thing about gifts.
Yeah.
So that's not his.
No.
Okay. So, how do you set each other up for success?
Well, we have a weekly Sunday business meeting.
Oh my gosh, I love
That's
it.
why I put this question
And
in there, because I knew about this.
We have a giant calendar that says "Welcome to the Shit Show." It's like off Etsy and it's like fancy.
Yes. Love it.
And so we have to stay on track with the calendar. We have our menu down the side. But like with my call schedule, for a while he was like traveling. He's getting his MBA. So like we both have a lot going on. And if we can't, like there was like 1 month where we got so off track with it. And I swear I had no idea what was going on with this man. Like he was like, I'm leaving tomorrow. I'm like, for where? Like what?
Are you coming back?
Like what are you doing? For how long? Like what is going on? So we go over that type of thing. It's easy. Like he's already told me this week, like he's got a midterm and like a presentation. So like these dates, he's going to be anxious. So like those are not days to like greet him at the door, like screaming, excited, like just let the man live. Because you know how we both like escalate each other a lot when we're both not anxious. But like if one's anxious and the other one's like screaming in your joyfully screaming in your face, it doesn't go well. And so we try to like give each other heads up on like, or like I'm on call this day and I have to work the next day. So like I might be grumpy and like you might be in charge of dinner this day. Like just be aware. And so I feel like that's helped us a lot because just giving someone the forewarning of like, this probably isn't going to be a good day, or like, you know, you might need to pick up the slack this day for me because I'm not doing it.
I think that's great. Like, I think more people need to do that.
It's very upfront, but
yeah, it's very upfront of like, instead of being like taken aback, like, oh, you're being so grumpy with me. It's like, hey, you know, I got called.
Look at the calendar.
I have to work. Yeah, like look at the calendar. Of course I'm grumpy today.
This is my grumpy day.
Yeah, and like he's allowed
for later in the week. Like,
yeah, and then he'll come out of his office and he'll be like, hey, and like kind of check in, you know. But then it's like the days where you know, like not to bring anything up. That's like, you know, you don't have any forethought when you're like stuck on like I'm studying for my midterm. It's like let's not ask him 1,000 questions about what he wants to do next weekend. Like, you know, and just kind of gives you, I don't know, it's just nice because like we used to kind of like mismatch and then get feelings hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm not trying to, but boy, I am tired. Like, leave me alone.
Boy, I'm tired. No, I think that's such a great idea.
I love it.
I don't know anybody else in my like sphere who does that, but I'm like, I want to steal that.
Yeah.
Like,
it's such a good idea.
Yeah. And we just have to. Like I'm telling you, like we fall apart when we don't do it. Like,
but it's so good that you know that about yourself.
Yeah.
And can plan for it.
And even like our menu, like if we don't plan it, we're going to eat out all week.
we're going to see you at Frank's.
Yeah, he's going to eat either that or like the poor guy's eating like beanies and weenies. Which he loves, but I'm just like, it hurts me as a wife to like watch him eat beanies and weenies. He's happy as a clam, and I'm like, I'm a failure.
You're just like internal.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, this is bad.
That 50s housewife in you is like, oh no.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a tangent we could go down.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, there's a lot. Yeah, that's been an interesting dynamic too, because when I want to take care of him, like I want to serve him dinner, until I feel like I'm forced into the role, and then I'm like, fuck you. And that's a lot to unpack because it's like, I'll do stuff for him that he didn't ask me to do, and then I'm like mad that I did it.
Oh,
Does
God,
that make
yeah,
sense?
Yeah, like I did this for you, and he's like, and you're like, why didn't you notice? And he's like,
Mhm.
but I didn't ask you to do that. Like, you could have spent your time on something else.
Yeah. And it's like, but I'm being a good wife. And it's like, well, he did not ask you to do that. And I don't know what made you think you need to be. Because even like cooking dinner, like, I don't have to be in charge of that.
Yeah.
And it's like, so why did I take on this role?
Oh.
And it's like,
societal
oh,
role
God.
of like, oh, you're the woman.
Yeah. And so there's been a lot of that where I'm just like, and I'm paying attention to it so I don't like totally fall into that role. Because especially easy with him in school and him doing, like, there is a lot that I'm doing right now just to get him through school. And it didn't used to be like that because he wasn't in school.
Mhm.
And now that we're married and I'm feeling like very housewifey sometimes, I'm like, oh, I don't like it. But, but then I realize that it's not like that. It's just like me supporting my partner through
Yeah.
this
period.
time.
Yeah.
But I'm hyper aware of like the gender roles and like you do the dishes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's fair. It's like I'm helping you out through this, but you can still like pick up your end of the bargain and like do things like
Yeah.
like you do the laundry every once in a while.
Yeah. That is his task is laundry. We divided. That's also another thing is we divided chores.
Oh,
And
that's
he is
amazing.
open to like renegotiation.
I love that.
I love the business.
Which it
and, like,
wasn't like a done deal. Because I told him like I think it was maybe like a month ago. I was just like really overwhelmed. And I was just like, I am very unhappy with like our deal. And he was like, all right, well, I'm open to like restructure. Like, what do you want? And I couldn't come up with anything at the time.
Yeah.
And so like, I don't know, but he's open to like renegotiation. And he can sometimes tell when I'm overwhelmed and like he'll pick up that slack. But I think it's also helpful to be like, no, like you're in charge of the trash. Like if you see it full, you go. And he's also in charge of like mowing the lawn. He's in charge of laundry. I can't stand it. I'm
you
not
and I
a
are the same
clothes
that
folder.
way. I can't.
No, and then I'm mostly in charge of like the dishes, and so like that kind of like equals out because we both have like a day. It's important you each have daily household functional tasks.
I need you to talk to your sister about this.
Well, because it's like if someone's just doing like the outside work. Like you're not actually taking any like daily load off the spouse that's doing all the inside work that like needs to get done every day for the house to run. Like just because, and like, yes, I appreciate you, but it's like, it's important to me that like he does the laundry, I do the dishes, and now we're both happy and we're both like working the same amount. Yeah,
I think especially, I don't know how much it's true. But as we probably all see on the internet, the like 40-hour work week was designed for somebody working outside of the home and somebody working inside the home because the house takes so much
not just
time.
working inside the home, but like their job is taking care of the house.
Yeah,
like there's so many things that need to get done. Like I understand why people fall behind on like their maintenance of their house because like it's so much.
It's exhausting. Yeah,
I'm like, oh, well, right. You have to have your HVAC serviced every year and you have to have this and like just coordinating and being home, which thank God for the like ability to work from home sometimes now in the society. Like, how did we function with everybody leaving the house all the time? Yeah. Like
it's crazy.
Fascinating.
Like, and especially now he works every Monday. He has class at 7 a.m. So he works from home on Mondays. And that has been like the best thing because he'll just like clean. Like he'll go to the store and it's like he is taking those things off my plate like once a week. I'm like, heck yeah. Like come home to like vacuumed, folded laundry. It's like so nice.
Yeah.
But pre-pandemic, like no one worked from home. Like it was weird.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. I like the business meeting.
Yeah.
And like getting things straight. I think we've started to do something a little bit similar, but I like the more like big calendar. I think we take ours like week by week, but then it's harder to like look outwards outside of that week.
If I ever find a partner, I would like to institute that.
Okay. You're going to have a lot of really great things.
I know. I'm going to be set up for success.
Yes. Yes.
So kind of going back to a little bit of the wedding, but just like general in life, I think we've all had our journeys with like our weight and our weight loss because we're women and like there's the paradigm and the societal norm of like what we should look like versus what we actually look like.
Yeah.
So can
and what
tell
you
us-
think you look like versus what you actually look like.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Your self-image
Mhm.
too. So can you tell us a little bit about like your journey?
Well, buckle up.
We're ready.
I will tell you, my lowest weight was 119.7. My highest was 202 that I know of. So that's a lot to cover. I will say I started off as probably like a chubby kid. Looking back, I always felt fat. Everyone always feels fat. Looking back, I was chubby at best. My twin sister, beanpole. Growing up in the 2000s, traumatic.
Just
Yeah.
trauma for all of us.
Yes.
Traumatic.
Yes. Those skinny
Um,
jeans did, or the low rise
Right. But
did nobody
even
any
like
favors.
everyone weighed 100 pounds, like famous people, like legitimately 100
Mhm.
pounds.
Yeah.
That's not healthy.
No.
It's healthy.
But so growing up in that time, I think right around 6th or 7th grade, I started doing Weight Watchers with my mom. And it was just like me and my mom. The rest of the family still had their fun food. I will say, like, I did lose weight on Weight Watchers, but it was really like, I think it messed with my head a lot. It assigned points to food, which isn't amazing. And it was really, as I remember it, maybe it wasn't like that. It was very like weight focused. Like it was like not health based. It was not anything like, it was like you're here to lose dress sizes and weight, and like you weigh in every week. And like to weigh a 12-year-old every week and have your like, my self-confidence was like based on the number on the scale.
Oh,
So that's like
so
really
unhealthy.
hard at 12. It was like maybe like even older, but still like, and I did it until like my freshman year of high school. But it's just like such a weird thing to experience as a kid. And especially looking back, like I had a very different body than like most kids. Like I had breasts and a butt, and like I wasn't rail thin, but like I wasn't that large.
Yeah.
Like I remember weighing in one time and like I think I got down to like 136. And it's like that's not large.
No.
Even
No.
140, my goal weight now is like 150.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
not horrible, but so that was weird. Then I got to high school, and our like lunches every week were, they used to bring in Chick-fil-A, Cafe Gourmet, Moe's, Chipotle, Little
What?
those were my lunches.
Damn.
And so then that got weird.
Right, like
Yeah.
going from the, like, the pendulum swing of like, this is what the school is bringing in for me.
And so it's like you want to be skinny, but you want to eat what your friends are eating, and you're
Right.
eating fast food.
Yeah.
And like, yes, I was working out and like I was on all the sports team, but it's like, did I really need, like, that's every day, 5 days a week. And then that's not counting dinner. Like,
You're like, but I have,
You
I
know?
met my caloric.
yeah. And so I think it's just always like, I don't know. It was weird to like restrict, not even like restrict food, but like not eat out and blah, blah, blah on like Weight Watchers and get like, I don't know, that was weird. And then to bounce to like eating that all the time. And then later I started taking ADHD medicine,
Oh, that's always fun.
and no appetite means no food, which means weight loss, which means compliments. Ooh.
Yeah, and I'm going to interject just a little bit because when I first met you, you were in nursing school, and
Mhm.
you were probably about
Tiny.
the time.
I used to
Yeah.
make my family call, like, they would call me Skeletor.
Yeah, it was.
I was tiny.
You were tiny,
Mhm.
and I also remember like you would like the few times that I was around, you would like come home from school, but before you went to go study, you would go for a run.
Yeah.
And
So I
it was
caught,
also like July, and I'm like,
Mhm.
why is she running right now? So
Yeah.
hot.
So gross.
it was, and I just got like, I loved it, and I loved being small, and like the compliments going from like big to
Mhm.
little, and then I felt so good about myself, like being so small, that I was like, why? Like, and then my worth became like, I got like competitive because my family's just competitive, but I got competitive with myself and the scale and like losing, and I just wanted to see how much, and like kept pushing, and it's like, well. And I used to make my mom, this is so embarrassing. She used to make me mono meals. So I'd make her, she'd make me like a bowl of mushrooms for dinner. And it's like my one food meal. Like sometimes I'd have like a big thing of like pineapple. I was just very like, I don't know, but I saw people online doing that. That's like really when like YouTube started coming too. So I think like I was just really exposed to a lot of weird things, and I got really fucked up. And I think I was and I was working out a ton then. And then through nursing, I realized I would like come home and like comfort eat, binge eat. And then COVID, I was just like, I'm not cooking at all. I'm just like ordering food.
Well, yeah, I mean,
drinking a lot too. That'll put weight on you like no one's business. And we were drinking a ton during COVID. So
everyone was.
Yeah.
There was just no way.
Yeah. So I'm back up, but I'm back on. I've been like seeing a trainer like 3 times a week. Nice. I've been like counting my macros. I did like Whole30 to get rid of like the inflammation, and I like slowly added things back in and then took things back out. So I feel like now for the first time, I'm like, this is about health. And this is about like nourishing your body, not restricting it. Like the scale is moving like pretty slowly, but that's like good.
Yeah.
Like you're not supposed to lose like a pound a day.
No,
that's not. So, and if you are, exactly. But if you want to, just eat mushrooms. Nothing else. Yeah, exactly.
Which is great.
Yeah. So it's been an interesting journey, ups and downs. But I feel like now I'm finally in a spot where it's like. And Mike has been really helpful too, because I'm like, oh, I lost this much weight. And he's like, okay. Like he doesn't celebrate it that much, but that's what I need. He's like, well, are you making good choices? Like your routine is good. Like you're getting stronger.
Are you still doing like early morning training?
Yeah, like I have to wake up at like 4:15.
Yeah.
And then I go to work after.
Yeah.
Oh God.
4:15, and then to get to the gym by like 5, and then I work out 5 to 6. Do that 3 times a week, and then I've been adding like treadmill in other days.
Nice.
But it just feels better. Like I'm off my ADHD meds, like working out and like diet like helped my symptoms so much that I was like, I don't think I need this anymore. My blood pressure is like way down. It was like way up there for a while. But it's
well, I mean,
back
we can
down.
also attribute that to the wedding. Like
that's true. That is true.
Destination wedding.
Yeah.
I know the year you've had.
Yeah. What a year. But we're back down 108 over like 70 something. So
nice.
And it was not that for a very long time.
That's awesome.
So that's where I'm at now. And I hope this stays. I feel like I finally have a handle on like normal eating. And
that's
like
so good.
Yeah. What a journey. It only took 30 years.
I mean, I get that. Yeah. I mean, I just started working with our friend Becca, who's a nutrition and fitness coach. And so she's working with me around nutrition and trying to figure that out, because I've put on a bunch of weight in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Which is like, I don't really care about the number that much, but like I can feel it as I'm trying to move my body. Yes. I'm like, this doesn't feel good.
Right.
So yeah.
Isn't it crazy how much we don't know about nutrition too?
Yeah.
It's like,
it's insane.
Yeah.
It's bananas. Yeah, that beautiful food pyramid that we learned in school. This is wrong. This is so wrong.
That's the appropriate response.
Yeah. And I guess like the information's out there, but it's just, I don't know. I feel like we grew up at such a weird time.
Oh yeah. I mean, the grain industry is what put on the food pyramid and like the rise of social media. So you had like this weird convergence of like old norms meeting new things, and so much more like, now look at all of these celebrities. They're even more like, before you would see, you'd have to like actively pick up a magazine and like look at them, and then like YouTube and
now
social
it's
media,
everywhere.
and now it's everywhere, and you're just inundated with bodies.
And each celebrity has their own like crazy diet that you're supposed to follow so you can look like them.
Right. And not to mention horde of people like editing all their photos too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
And private chefs cooking all their meals.
Right.
And private
Like you're
trainers.
not actually doing it, Neil.
Yeah.
It's like you have a whole team of people that are helping mold you into this.
Yeah.
It's insane. So what's your since you've been working on your training and nutrition, do you have a favorite meal now that is like a well-balanced diet compared to just pineapples or mushrooms?
Yes. Okay, so I'm like a big seafood person right now, but my favorite is I make these, I just made them the other day, like these mahi-mahi tacos.
Ooh.
But, and I do have a little like tortilla, because I would have rather died before eat a carb before, but
Carbs
they're
are
like,
good for you.
yeah,
Mhm.
they're necessary. But there's like this protein tortilla and then mahi mahi and like fresh veggies and a pineapple salsa.
Ooh,
It's
still getting that pineapple
so
in
good.
there.
I mean,
Yes.
gotta.
Yeah,
I got
I
you.
love pineapple salsa.
Yeah, that and
So
like
good.
these chicken wraps. This like Mediterranean chicken wrap with like
Ooh,
peppers and tzatziki.
that sounds good.
You just can't
Sounds
beat it.
delicious.
Great.
I
You'll
love
send us
it.
over that mahi mahi
Exactly.
taco recipe, and we'll put that in the show
Yeah,
notes.
it's so good. And I'm gonna make a salmon bowl,
Ooh.
and I'm so excited for it. I'll let you know how it goes. But
Okay, tell me, what are you putting in the salmon bowl?
so I have edamame from Trader Joe's. I have
Ooh.
yum yum sauce, and I got liquid aminos instead
Oh,
of
yeah.
soy sauce.
Yeah.
I haven't used it yet, but I hear it's like very similar.
Oh yeah, they taste if I put soy sauce and liquid aminos next to each other,
Mhm.
I cannot tell the difference between them.
I love to hear that.
What is
I'm
it?
excited.
What's liquid aminos?
They're essentially
I don't even know.
I think the base is like coconut.
Mm-hmm.
So
I
it's
think
just
that's
like
right.
a
And it
another
looks
condiment sauce.
Yeah.
But instead, soy sauce is obviously so high in sodium, like
Yeah.
you just like blow up. You're just
Yeah.
and liquid aminos don't do that for whatever reason. It's
Yeah.
probably because there's like a balance of like fat in it.
But yeah,
So, I mean,
there's that. And I always do cauliflower rice, and not
Mm.
because I'm afraid of carbs. Rice, like really, I noticed with Whole30, when you cut stuff out and then eat it back again, when I would have rice, like my joints would hurt, like they felt
Oh.
inflamed. And I just like,
Mm.
so I don't do regular rice, but it's mostly how I feel. I'm not like carb counting or whatever.
Well, that makes sense. I mean,
Yeah.
and that's good that you're listening to how you feel versus
Yeah.
like cool.
Great.
All right. So I wanted to ask this because
Mhm.
you are a supporter, obviously, of the
Yes.
show. What has been your favorite episode, obviously, besides the one that you're on, or topic that you've heard
I
us talk about?
loved the holiday episode and like talking about like navigating family and like 2 different families because we had to do that for the first time this year. Just like the boundaries and like making sure the holidays are like good for you.
Yeah.
Because like I was thinking that like the holidays genuinely like stress me out, and especially your first one being married, like trying to make sure everyone gets their time. And finally I was just like, well, this is my Christmas too, and like I just want to do what I
think
you
that
know?
was an eye-opening episode for a lot of people. I had my eyes open on that episode after I did it, and I was like, why am I doing all of this? Like, I
Mhm.
like Christmas.
Mm-hmm. And it's like hard because like you have these traditions that like you want everyone to be happy, but it's like I don't know. I was feeling a lot of pressure, and it was nice to hear other people, you know, kind of feel the same way. Like it's a happy time, but it's stressful.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. And I love my family. I'm like close with my family, so I'm like people who aren't. I'm just like it's got to be another level.
Yeah.
But I liked it. Very relatable.
Yes. I'd love to hear that feedback.
Yes.
It's good feedback. Those holiday episodes were fun.
They were.
Mhm.
We'll do that again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's
we'll
always
be
a
better
nice
at this
reminder. Be like, remember, you don't have to do everything you're like invited to.
Yeah. I have a problem with saying no around the holidays.
No
Me
is a
too.
complete sentence.
I'm working.
I
on
have
it.
a hard time saying no, just like in general. But I'm
I-
working on it.
I
I'm
think you're
like getting
pretty
there. I've gotten a lot better.
You inspire me.
Really?
Yeah.
You're kidding.
No, not at all. It's like we'll do something and I'll come home and be like, Shelby, Becca just like says no, and it goes like in my mind everything escalates, and this is like because of the dynamic that I was raised in. But I'm like, you can say no and be like, I'm not trying to hurt your feelings, and it's not that I don't want to spend time with you. It's just that that's not a priority for me, and I think like you've done a really good job, especially over like the last couple of years with us being down here. Is like I feel like you're getting better at or doing a really good job of like prioritizing you and Michael and your time together, and not having like everyone tread on that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I want to be more like that.
Yeah. It's kind of like the more you do it, like the easier it gets to say no, or to be like, this is my one night with Mike. Like, we're going to be just us. Like, and if it really is a priority to you, it's like easy to say no.
Yeah.
At least it is. And especially with my family, like they're pretty like chill. They don't really get their feelings hurt.
Yeah.
I'm sure they want to see us more, but also maybe not. They're tired too. I don't know. I feel like when it was warm, we saw each other all the time because we were just hanging on the back deck.
Yeah.
And I think with the cold, it's just kind of like, I don't want to leave the house.
Yeah. And I think it's okay for there to be like ebb and flows.
For sure.
Too. And like, I don't think people lean into that enough. Like,
Yeah.
It's cold. I don't necessarily want to leave my house in the evening.
I'm hibernating.
Yeah. Like, I want to like have my pasta. I don't want to have to drive anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But I run because I am social. Like, sometimes I go a little stir crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I need to interact with other people. I love you, Shelby, but I need to interact with other people.
Yeah.
And Shelby's probably like, I love you, get the fuck out.
Yeah. Shelby's like, I don't need any more people.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
that's exactly.
Yeah. Nailed it.
That's why you have to have a work wife
Yeah, exactly.
and
Yeah.
a podcast.
Yes.
So I have
Social
something to do.
yes. Social interaction.
Sorry.
All right. Okay, so it looks like we have one last question for you. What have you learned over the years about ways to love yourself, and where are you in your journey?
I think like to realize that like your self-worth is not like based on like how you look. And I'm still learning
Here,
that
here.
because it's just very hard because like with the way that I went through it, it's like when I got skinny, it was like pretty and I got so much attention.
Mm-hmm.
And then left like the kind of like heavier now, it's like you don't feel as pretty as you did, but it's like it really doesn't have pretty has nothing to do with like who you are.
Yeah.
And also like whatever everything, like if you I don't know. So I think that, and then I think I'm doing better now, just in terms of like I'm doing more of how I like feel, like I'm mentally in the best place I've been, and that like really helps you be more clear and like more, it changes your self-talk.
Mm.
When I am like an anxious freak, I am so mean to myself on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like not reality, but like you can't break out of that cycle. But now that I'm kind of like mellowed out a little, the ADHD meds really kind of fuck with me too. I'm like kind of demonic.
Yeah.
They're
so weird.
They're so weird and whatever. So I'm off those, and I feel like I'm finally like just now really getting into it, if that makes sense. Like I've leveled out and I'm like, oh, like I don't hate myself. And now I'm kind of starting to like treat myself nicely, like stuff like that. So I think I'm still at the beginning journey, but I'm less like mean to myself, if that makes sense.
I mean, some of the things that like, I don't know if you all can relate to this, but like the things that I say internally are things I would never say to the people that I love.
No.
Dear God, no.
No. It's horrible. Like
I would never say those things to people I don't like.
Right.
Like,
and like if you make a mistake, I'm like, you piece of shit. And then I'm just like, it's a mistake. It's not that big of a deal.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know.
My inner voice is a bitch.
Right.
Yeah.
So hard on yourself. And it's like, for what? For what reason?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's absurd.
Yeah.
It is. But I think that's where, I don't know, everyone has to go on their own thing. And I think like turning 32 this year, I also was kind of like, and stuff with my mom, like you just get that reality check of like what really matters and like what doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was a stressful year, but I do think I learned a lot to be like, and there's a lot of small stuff that I was like sweating, and now I'm just more accepting, I guess.
More chill.
Yeah, chill and like just accepting I am where I am.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I feel like some of that comes with age a little bit, because I feel like I kind of hit that point too after, entering my 30s.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's, as we get older, we get a little more confidence in ourselves.
Yeah.
We start leaving that chaos of teens and 20s behind.
Yeah.
And
the chaos, because you kind of love the chaos for a while.
Yeah.
And like when it settles down, like I was so bored for a while, and I felt like I was stirring the pot just to like, because I was like, I need something, like I need this. And now I'm just like, no, calm, still waters. Yeah. You're not getting a fight from me.
There's enough things in the world.
Yeah.
You start to learn more about yourself and come into like who you are as a full adult and what's actually important.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Those your priorities also shift.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is this really worth it?
Yeah.
Like, I was take the stance of like, will this matter in a year? Will this matter in 5 years?
Mm-hmm.
If the answer is no, like why?
2
am I
weeks
stressing?
from now.
Yeah.
Like I used to get so worked up. Just day by day, like literally so worked up. And it's like looking back, I can't tell you about what. And it's like, oh my God, you wasted so much time and so much the stress hormones I must have been releasing at one point. It's just like wild to think about. But like
Yeah.
I don't know. I really try not to get too worked up now.
With
I mean, yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
beauty and age comes grace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It also helps. I feel like Mike is like, he's very much like a good support system, like my biggest fan, and will also like, he's very encouraging, but like not encouraging with his ideas, like encouraging me to like be myself and like really just be myself, but like full on.
Mm-hmm.
And that's helpful too. It's just always having someone that's there like in your corner.
Oh yeah.
He's like helped me a lot with that, and he's helped my confidence a lot.
That's awesome.
Yeah. He's been very validating, and now almost to the point where I'm just like, you don't have to tell me.
Yes.
So he's been helpful. Yeah, unless I ask for it, which I will.
Don't worry, I will ask for it. Awesome.
Oh.
Well, thank you for joining.
Yeah,
us.
thanks for having me.
Awesome.
We hope you get to.
I'd be down. Yeah, I thought it was going to be weird, but I had fun.
That's what everybody says.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I thought it was going to be weird too, but
Yeah.
here we are, 17
Yay.
episodes later.
Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome.
Cool.
All right. Well, make sure to follow us, like us, rate us on all the things. You can listen to the podcast on all your favorite listening platforms. Follow us on social media. And don't forget to head over to the Armory and pick up some of our new swag. It's pretty awesome.
It's pretty awesome.
There's a crop flowy
Love
tee.
it.
I'm very excited.
Ooh,
Yeah.
love it.
Cool.
Awesome.
All right.
And done.